My name is Donovan Manning. I am a certified yoga and Pilates instructor. I've been practicing for over 20 years now.
What made you want to start practicing and teaching yoga?
It's actually an interesting story. I came into yoga by a bet. I had my best friend and he said, bet you couldn't last the whole hour in the class. After the whole hour in the class, fun and joke aside, I actually exhaled and breathed. Yes.
Exhale and breathe?
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
It was the first time where in my life I actually felt my mind clear. I felt in control and I felt at peace. What is yoga? The simple answer for yoga, and most people would see, is when you talk about yoga, they say it's more about stretching, or more doing downward dog, or more lighting incense and sitting in lotus. But no, it's a little bit more than that. Yoga, according to Patanjali, the father of yoga, it's the quelling of the cessations of the mind. In other words, it's how do you find that way of regulating, controlling yourself, your emotions, your thoughts, and everything as you navigate through life, being present constantly. So, as I say, it's a little complex, but simple. To be quite honest, human beings weren't built not to be steady. Yes, we're naturally lazy and instinctively lazy, but I wouldn't say it's strenuous, because there are different styles, different modes, and different ways in which you can access yoga. And the part that we're talking about here is yoga asana, which is one of the steps in the 8 paths of yoga. So you do some physical activity, some movement, and it doesn't have to be strenuous. The word asana comes from Sanskrit, which means 2 things, which means basically to pose and to find ease. So when we use asana here, it's not necessarily a pose, you're going to hold a triangle pose or anything like that. It's how do you move about posing daily and finding that ease as you pose about daily. In the West, we are introduced to yoga through movement, through how flexible it can be. Can I do a handstand? Can I do something like that? That's where we first introduced through yoga, and I think it's a good point to start with. Yes.
Since you started your practice over 20 years ago, how has it changed your life?
Wow. I've become more calm. I've become more cognizant. I want to say more in control, because it's a continuous journey. Every day you get up, it changes. It's not the same thing every day. I'm not saying that some days I'm going to get up and not feel like I've slide to the back of the church, but it's a continuous journey. I literally not necessarily know where I'm going. I have a scent, I have a trail, and it makes me feel good when I follow it.
So you have branded yourself the Dutty Foot Yogi.
Yes.
Explain to me a little bit about what that is.
The Dutty Foot Yogi. So it's all started physically. When I teach classes, my foot bottom is usually dirty. So Jamaican parlance, dirty, dirt. And then if you break it even down some more, I'm one of those teachers who like to be barefooted, walk up and down outside. So the concept of grounding barefooted is very, very much a part of it. I also like the idea, again, because it polarizes things. And mostly here, when you hear people, your yoga name, it's some fancy something, and you're just thinking, no, I wanted to make it Jamaican, and I wanted to make it make sense. So if you were to really trace it back, it goes back to Louis Clovelly, where Dutty Tough, it's things going on like that, the contrast, the chaos and the calm going on at the same time.
So you have over 20 years of experience.
Yes.
How has the reception to yoga been in Jamaica?
Good, beautiful questions. Something that I have personally journaled about. There are cultural things that we have to consider when we do yoga. Jamaica, in as much as it has a very strong spiritual, religious background, introducing other cultures and other spiritual practices that they're not used to can get a fight. all right? Because I've known instances where they've gone in and torn up booths and stuff that we've set up already, speaking about yoga, saying it's devil worshipping, but moving on. The other one I face a lot is finding the appropriate space to not just teach, but also go and access, all right? Also, once you're there, you don't really have the props, the accessories, and the equipment there to help you. And also, people perception of it is a little different. So they rank it. Your what's the word I'm looking for? Your idea of how you rank it in life, how you choose it every day. People won't choose yoga, and even if they choose it, it's not I wouldn't say it's a lifestyle, so to speak. They'll choose it like, sure, I just go to the gym today and then tomorrow I'll just go and check in with it. So those are some of the things that I face with it. Personally, on my personal view, what I view with it as Donovan Manning and Dutty Foot Yogi is I have to understand that I am not the teacher for everyone. I have to understand that my nature, as much as it's calm, soft, and kind, being a teacher and being a leader, doesn't mean I don't have to do that, but I sometimes have to go against that. All right, being a little bit more stronger, a little bit more stringent, and which is, I don't feel I have to be like that. All right, so that's one of the things that, many of the things that I face, or I call them restraints to the practice of yoga. Going back to one of the definitions of yoga, yoga means union of mind, body, spirit. A very simple definition. We're not gonna break it down. But you start with union. Why is yoga being seen as isolated from everything when, honestly guys, when you read your texts from other religious things, the word meditation, the word get up and move, get up and make movements, get up and appreciate things, these are meditation. These are practices that are done in yoga. So to isolate your yoga practice or to say that yoga is a religion and I can't practice it, it's a little bit contradictory and it doesn't hold fast. All right? Yoga should actually be used to enhance you, how you are, what you use to regulate you. That's what yoga is really about, regulating yourself. There are many yoga studios that are around. I am on the path of offlining, so if you want to get at me, you can hit me up at duttyfoot_yogi, all right, at IG. You see what I'm doing every day. But there are yoga studios that you can visit. There is Afia Yoga Jamaica, there's Khalees Kelly Yoga, there's True Self Yoga Studio, there's also Pilates Studio, there's Body Fort that you can visit. There's teachers like Marta, there are other Kita Marie, Deborah. There are teachers and access out there that you can go and access. It's easier than you think it is, and it does not have that class thing about it. I am here to prove this to you, that it's not a classist thing. Yoga is accessible and open to all.
Is that a challenge that you get a lot, that it's for the upper echelon?
Yes, I do get that. And I also not only get it's an upper echelon, I also get that it's a color thing and it's an American thing. And it's yeah, so black people in yoga, it's a very rare but very powerful thing when you see it. As we move into Christmas, applying the practice of yoga is going to be extremely important. We do this every year where we get ourselves all in a kerfluffle and a whole barrage of busy. Yoga is now the perfect opportunity for you to slow down, check in with yourself, see what you're going to do, and then move on to it.